If you could stand in one place in the world and watch everything that ever happened there throughout history, where would be the most interesting place to stand? Rome. Standing in the Forum today is an incredible experience, but seeing it at the time of the Republic? That would be incredible on a whole new scale. And it's been a city for nearly 3,000 years. Egypt. I've got a few questions about those pyramids. Who the duck builds a Stonehenge? Duck all else to do in England. That would actually be hilarious if the history was literally just boredom. More akin to kids building a fort in the woods behind their house rather than a religious thing. Nowadays people spend thousands of hours on some Minecraft creation. Back in the days you had to use actual rocks. When I first played Minecraft it actually made me consider these things. I foraged and built myself a house. I mined until I had a diamond set of tools, sword, and armor. I built a farm with animals and crops. Then I found myself with nothing to do because all my needs were fulfilled in the game. I also had chest after chest of cobblestone. So I started building a giant statue. About halfway through building I thought to myself, I wonder if this is why the ancients built all those giant things? Who knew Minecraft was so meta? Between the Tigris and Euphrates. Civilization, coming soon to a dank river valley near you. Edit, oh hi, thanks for the gold, I'm still a piece of garbage. The best part about that, he used dank correctly. God damn it, why don't you guys ever upvote the comments I put effort into? It means the same thing either way. Dank, swampy, fertile smelling, is the way you want your weed. Susa, Iran. Estimated to be one of the oldest continuously inhabited towns, it was founded before the formation of ancient Egypt and was the capital of several ancient empires. Still an existing, decently sized town. Edit, I'm not saying it's the very oldest, just one of the oldest that also has a lot of history. Definitely the most useful, unique answer here. Any links to info, at least about which empires you are referring to? Susa was an ancient city of the Proto-Elamite, First Persian Empire, Seleucid, Parthian, and Sanayan empires. Ophir first sentence in the Wikipedia article about Susa. Archaeologists have dated the first traces of an inhabited Neolithic village to c. 7000 BCE. Evidence of a painted pottery civilization has been dated to c. 5000 BC. 16 painted ceramic vessels from Susa in the earliest first style are a late, regional version of the Mesopotamian Ubad ceramic tradition that spread across the Near East during the 5th millennium BC. 17 in urban history, Susa is one of the oldest known settlements of the region. Based on c. 14 dating, the foundation of a settlement there occurred as early as 4395 BCE, a calibrated radiocarbon date. 18 At this stage it was already very large for the time, citation needed about 15 hectares. Watching the Grand Canyon form would be pretty cool. Sorry, I'm not a people person. I've always said to myself it would be the coolest thing ever if someone had like a video camera set up to a mountain or the Grand Canyon form. The Grand Canyon started off as an enormous mountain. I gotta say, it totally failed at being a mountain. And people come from all over the world to see what a failure it's become. Yeah, but it really wasn't at fault. For a nice long viewing experience, you'd want a place that has been inhabited for a long time. Preferably still inhabited today, as the rate of change is so much higher nowadays. A central public space in Rome or in Athens would be a good bet. I'd be tempted to say the Vatican as well, lots of political goings on, and a great place to get perspective on an organization that literally spans millennia. Not sure how much they redecorated the place over time, though. The Vatican was mostly a redoubt and a grave for the popes throughout history. The official cathedral of the papacy still is San Giovanni in Laterano, and that's where most people throughout history's soul would have expected to find the Pope, if he even was in Rome. The Vatican as an entity, and especially its current equivalence with the papacy and the Holy See, has really only been a thing since the dissolution of the Papal State. It was more or less created as an independent country by the Lateran Treaty of 1929. Some grammatical cleanup. Pro tip, we went twice to San Giovanni when we went to Rome, both times it was deserted and both times well worth the visit. Unlike the Vatican which was so busy we couldn't wait to leave. Paris, Rome, or Jerusalem? Jerusalem would definitely answer some pretty important questions. Which ones to be exact? London. I don't know why, I would just love to see it throughout the ages. Time to read London by Edward Rutherford. Sarum as well. That's my choice for Ops question. I would love to see Pangea happening. So maybe somewhere in space with an unobstructed view of Earth whilst rotating with the Earth. I like the idea of geostationary orbit. Hopefully I don't immediately die of exposure to space. I mean, think death is out of the picture, seeing as you would most certainly die standing in the same place through history. If not from cold heatage, then from people animals running the duck over you. Damascus, world's oldest continually inhabited city. Probably skip the last few years though. Istanbul. Yup, that would be mine too, I think. Just about everything in Western history had to come by there, and still is. Alexandria is probably also nice. For Eastern history I'd go with either Varanasi or Lebanon to at least have access to the hot goss. Varanasi would be crazy. The only place in the world where you'd hear the same language spoken continuously for 3,000 years, at least, by the holy men chanting their prayers. My own house and see first my mother grow up in it and then me and my siblings. That's be cool, but you'd have to stand there for a billion years waiting for it to be built. Well, nothing man-made is gonna be built until the last 10,000 years, so what's an extra 10,000 years to wait on top of 14 billion? There are some stalagmite rings in this cave significantly before that, if it counts. Bekli Tepe, in Turkey. It's a megalithic site that is considered to be the world's oldest temple, predating Stonehenge by over 6,000 years. And it's way bigger, with most of it still not even excavated. It's said to have been created when people were still hunter-gatherers living in small nomadic tribes. How did they amass enough people to build it? Who built it? Why? What tools did they use? It was used for thousands of years, and then intentionally buried by hand. Why? I'd like concrete answers, and not contested archaeologists' anthropologists' best guesses. It's way too interesting. Library of Alexandria. Probably Jerusalem. Lemme peep dat Jeezy. Mount Everest. See the world from above, sort of, and wait for Edmund Hillary. He would be very pissed off to see you. Haha, actually hadn't considered that. Rome. It's said that all roads lead to Rome. Imagine witnessing the creation and history of the Roman Empire and the Vatican. Well, all roads led to Rome because it was the Romans who built them. It would be incredible though. London for me, the Romans attacking and building their settlement, Vikings trying to invade, wars with France, Spain and the Netherlands, Norman conquest, the Great Fire and rebuilding, construction of St. Paul's, Tower Bridge, the Old London Bridge, the original Globe Theatre, new kings and queens, Henry V's wives being beheaded, a packed Thames with sailing ships, the Industrial Revolution, wartime spirit. Close second would be New York. Just to see it change from swamps to the concrete jungle that it is today would be insane. Edit, Henry's wives were beheaded, not behaved. My home island in the Mariana Islands. So much of our ancient culture was reshaped, to use a more correct, gruesome term, culled, during Spanish colonialization. I'd love to learn more about who I am and who the Chamorro are. Egypt. This would fascinate me. Egypt is so old that the Romans thought about Egypt the way we think about the Romans. Not to mention that the Sphinx could be a fair bit older than that still. The moon, with an awesome telescope. If you don't let me have my telescope, I'll still pick the moon. Should still be fun. Plus, I can without a doubt confirm the moon landings. Also, all the cheese I could ever want. Athens, Greece. Imagine seeing all that history. Sitting in Athens on vacation right now and can confirm. Just walking around and thinking that all the ancient structures I see are 2,000 to 3,000 years old is one of the most mind-blowing things I've ever experienced. I went for a walk the other day through a random park and suddenly came across a 2,500-year-old monument. This stuff is so commonplace that there were barely any signs for it. It's just a part of life here. Japan. Would love to see its history. Boy, do I have a video for you. Upvoted before following the link because I knew what it would be. How about Sunrise Lawn? Me too, how about I do anyway, i.e.